Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've got somebody recording this, so we'll get started. So, apologies that I'm out of breath and came swinging in here with my bike and my cycle helmet and asking for a pint soda in line. The person who's led this campaign is Melissa Kelly. So you all know Melissa Kelly. She's been hugely passionate about this, but she's had to go away for a few days and she'll be back on Saturday. So yesterday evening, I was asked to step in. So for me, I've had to prepare all this with less than 24 hours notice. So I'm literally sort of sworn in from work. So I will get my breath back. So hopefully on your tables there'll be an agenda. John was going around, I think there's a table here. So there's a bit of an agenda that tells you what we're going to be covering this evening. And I shouldn't really tell you who I am. So I do have a script. So I'm going to read from a script because we've got an awful lot of information to convey to you within an hour. So we've said we're going to start at 7. It's 10 past. I'm sorry about that. I want to do it within an hour. So I'm aiming to finish at 8, 10 past 8. And then hopefully we'll get drinks at the bar. So, welcome to the second meeting for the Campaign to Save the Grammar School project. As I've said, we've got a member of the public recording this meeting and it will be shared on his YouTube channel. The gentleman filming has kindly said he will share it with us, Team Hina Losco, and we will share it on our Facebook page. If you remain in this room beyond this point, we take that you consent to be recorded for this meeting and for it to post it in the way we described. Okay, so if you don't want to be filmed, I don't know if you put a brown paper bag on your head or something, so we need to make you aware of that. So, hello, I'm the chap who arrived on the bike. I'm Stefan. I'm a local resident and a local business owner, and I've lived in the town since 2007. Melissa has led this campaign very passionately, and it's thanks to her you're all here today. We've had some apologies. So we've had apologies from Melissa Kelly, we've had apologies from Councillor Stephen Bauer. He's sent a statement that he's asked to be shared on his behalf. So to save time, we're going to post that on the Team Hina Losco Facebook page after this meeting. Ben Bellamy, who attended the last meeting and is a borough councillor, has supported our campaign. He sends his apologies this evening, but he's asked me to read this out. He said that he has complained to the Amber Valley Borough Council monitoring officer about the decision to lease the building to Derbyshire County Council. He carries on to say, if he doesn't get a response by the end of the week, he will go to the local government ombudsman. Before I move on to the next item of the agenda, has anybody received any other apologies from anybody else who wants to be here? Okay, just whilst I'm talking about councillors, we've got county councillors, we've got borough councillors, and we've got 21 town councillors. I can see a couple of councillors in the room. I'm not going to point them out, but if they would like to stand up and introduce themselves, I'd ask them to do so now.
Well, forgive me, it takes me a while to get up.
Okay, well, you've been beaten to it by Marie at the back.
I'm Marie Cresswell and I'm in the Moscow Town Council.
Right, you know me, Steph, as well as I know you. It's Trevor Holmes,
Yeah.
Borough Councillor for Hina East Ward.
Brilliant, thank you. So, I should say, thanks again to Shipley Working Men's Club for hosting us again and opening the bar. We really appreciate their support and letting us, the local community, have this room for free. So, can we have a little round of applause for the staff behind the bar and Andy? Thank you very much. Right, so agenda item 2, a brief summary of the grammar school project. So there's a lot out on social media. There's been an awful lot of activity, and it's very difficult to know what the facts are. So I'm going to read out what the facts are, and after this meeting, these will be posted on the Facebook page, so you can read this in your own time as well. So these are the facts, and everything we're reading, we've got a cross-reference to a website. So if you want, you can fact-check what we're saying. So these are what we understand to be the facts. So we call this campaign the Save the Grammar School Project. The emphasis is on the word project at the end. This is because the building has been saved. It has been saved. These are the facts. So it's been saved. It's brilliant. Just look at it and you'll see a lot of the care and attention has been afforded to its refurbishment. When South East Derbyshire College left the grammar and put it up for sale, I was actually part of a small group that sat on the steps of the building, on the Mundy Street side, and we offered South East Derbyshire College £1 for the building. So we sat there, I think we were on page 3 of the Derby Telegraph, and we sat there, I think it was back in, was it about 2010? The college shut us around then, wasn't it? It's a long time ago. So we offered the college £1. We had a huge cardboard presentation check. So when Barclays was there, I went in and I said, have you got one of those big presentation checks? And they said, yeah, what do you want it for? I said, we want it for a quick photo shoot. So we sat there, it was a big group of us. Some of them are still active in the local community. So we had lots of members who like from Hena Vision, who sat with us on the steps and have been instrumental in saving the grammar. So they sat on the steps. So we were in the Derby Evening Telegraph. Now, it would be no surprise that they refused our £1 offer all that time ago. But many of us actually felt this was generous. We always understood that the town was gifted the land by the Miller Mundy family. And the costs of the building were partly met by public subscription. So that's what we understood, and hopefully through this meeting other members of the local community will come forward and give us information. So we know somebody in the local community has maybe got contacts for the Miller Mundy family in London, and we might be able to validate this. So if you've got any information, we know, is it Robert Mee at the Local History Society? We've made contact with him as well. So, in the sands of time, ownership of the building has passed from South East Derbyshire College to a private developer. The private developer, do you remember this? He submitted a planning application to build houses on the car park and convert the building into flats. The planning application affected not only the Grade 2 listed building, so the grammar is Grade 2 listed, so it's got legal protection, but also the setting of it. Historic England, which a government agency, objected to the planning application, and so did a huge amount of residents. Fortunately, Amber Valley Borough Council refused the application. So we all know what happened next. The grammar fell into disrepair. One window was smashed and then all the windows were smashed. We remember this, don't we? It just happened. And all of a sudden, urban explorers got in. I don't know if you've seen some of these YouTube things. Some of the urban explorers were just exploring, others were going in and damaging the building. Original features were damaged and the building was clearly at risk of being attacked by arsonists. The site wasn't protected and there were gaping holes in the windows. The developer let it fall into a state of disrepair. So fast forward a few years, community pressure grows from people like us. The government announces something called the Future High Streets Fund. This was part of what it called levelling up money. So you've all heard of levelling up. And do you remember a TV programme with Mary Portas, who was looking at how to regenerate high streets? Yeah, so she was instrumental in getting the government to invest in the future high streets. Amber Valley Borough Council then did a huge amount of public consultation. So you remember we had sessions in the church and all this, and lots of us all went along to that. We were asked what we thought. A bid then went into the government from Amber Valley Borough Council to transform not only the grammar but the whole town. It was a massively competitive process. Lots of towns across the country were bidding for a slice of a £675 million pot. That's a big pot of money, and if you're a bit sort of sad like me, you can go onto the government's website and you can see all the places up and down the country that bid for these monies, which were supported, which were rejected, and hugely competitive. So our town won part of that money, which was brilliant really. So we got a massive grant from the government. We got £8.6 million for the grant. In total, we got 17.8 million to regenerate the town centre. So those figures, if you want to fact check them, when we send this out, we'll send out the website link so you can see where we're getting this information from. So we are providing you with the facts. Right, let me just take a sip of mine, soda and lime. So you can all fact check it, and there's huge amounts of information on the Valley's website. So the project was this, so we're calling this the project. The project was to turn the grammar into a shared space for business, leisure and community uses. That's really important, as the shared space bit is key. That was the project, and that was what the government awarded the money for. It was all about attracting new businesses into the town that would complement, not compete with existing businesses. Yes, there are many vacant buildings in the town centre, but many of these are small, in a poor condition, have no convenient car parking, and are inaccessible to those with visual or mobility limitations. So the Grammar was going to be a wonderful, accessible venue in the town. Cross-subsidy between the businesses and the community uses would balance the costs, making sure that the building paid its way and did not become a liability on the taxpayer. The government pored over Amber Valley's application for the Grammar and the wider town centre. So the government just don't turn around and give you those sorts of money. They go through a very detailed process. So there's been chat on social media about, oh well, the Grammar's not viable for this. The government concluded the scheme as submitted was viable and would support businesses. So they're the facts as we see it. So the government concluded that the shared space concept, what we're calling the Hena Grammar School project, was financially sound and would increase footfall into the town centre, helping existing businesses and reduce vacancy rates. If Amber Valley Borough Council had applied to turn the Grammar into a council office, regardless of which council that would be, it's our view that the grant money would not have met the objectives of the future High Street programme. So it wouldn't have got the money. That's our view. So that's what won the bid, the shared space concept. And it was brilliant. It was a brilliant idea between Amber Valley Borough Council, the Town Council, the community, all of us. It was a brilliant idea. And the government thought it was a brilliant idea and gave us a shed load of money. Right, so Hena gets a huge cheque. Work begins. We've watched it for years, haven't we? And hasn't it been brilliant? Hasn't it been exciting? You know, when they put the copper back on the dome and all this sort of, didn't it lift people's spirits? And you thought, actually, finally, the town is starting to turn a corner. Amber Valley Borough Council set up a web page called Hena Grammar. It's still there if you want to have a look at it. It's still online, so have a look. Amber Valley Borough Council encouraged businesses to express interest in renting space in the building. Today, that online expression of interest form, at this moment in time, is still there for people to fill out.
No, it's not been there. So I was told at the meeting that it was still there. I got home to fill it in because I was asked to resubmit it. The link does not work, so you cannot fill in.
Right, Marie, can you flip? Because this morning it was online.
page not found.
Yeah.
So maybe it's been taken down since I looked. So if you don't mind just fact checking that for me, Marie. So thank you, Dawn. Right, so I was one of the 151 businesses that expressed interest in renting space in the building. I, along with many others, took time to express my interest. So I went along to an event at Charles Hill and put my name down for 2 small office spaces on the first floor. And other people in this room did. Dawn is one of those other people. So Dawn's asked to speak later on in this meeting. I was told, and so were other businesses and organisations, that we'll be contacted with the rental figures. So we put our names down, I'm interested in that space, we'll come back to you and tell you how much it's going to cost you a month. We waited. Nothing. Then a few weeks ago, I'll come back to you in a second, Marie. Then a few weeks ago, it was announced, and this is all on the Council Amber Valley's website, that the leader of Amber Valley Borough Council authorised a 5-year lease to DCC using his constitutional powers. Marie, just I'll pause there. Is the website online?
Say not.
So it's just...
I've got it.
You've got it?
Yeah.
Can you just read, can you tell us what the URL is? Is it enagramma.co.uk?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dawn, do you want to try that? enagramma.co.uk. Right, so it's working for some people.
It's an Apple device. It works.
Right, okay, so...
Is that the form? Can you get the form?
Yes.
I can't get the form.
I can't. Maybe it's an Android thing.
Okay, so maybe it's to do with an Android. Okay, so the website is there, so we can validate it's there on some people's devices. Right, so there's a lot online about this decision-making process. So I've got to be mindful of the time we've got to be brief. We are told at the moment that renting to Derbyshire County Council is the only viable option. That's what we've been told. That they don't want it to become a liability on the taxpayer, and it's the only way to secure the future of the building. So that's what we understand we're being told as a community. So, however, Amber Valley Borough Council, to our knowledge, have not done any market testing for the shared space concept. It is our view that they are required to do so. And the reasons are this. Number one, the grant was awarded for that shared space concept. Number two, public bodies like Amber Valley Borough Council are bound by rules and regulations that are set out in law. For example, the Local Government Act. We could perhaps get into detail about the Local Government Act, but mostly not this evening. So if you want us to talk about the Local Government Act, we can maybe pick that up at the next meeting. These rules require councils and public bodies to market test things like renting public assets, but also involve the community in decision making. There has not only been no evidence of market testing, but no community and business engagement. Amber Valley Borough Council are or appear to be of the view that no consultation was required. So that's their view, and that's the statement. They've made the statements online. So I'm not going to, you can read those on Amber Valley Borough Council's Facebook page. But the House of Lords, believe it or not, whilst they're not specifically talking about HENA, there's something called the House of Lords Built Environment Committee. And only a few weeks ago, they had a recent debate about town centres such as ours. And they supported the view that the community and local businesses should be consulted before decisions are made. So, I'm going to move on to where we are now. Are there any questions at the moment?
Has any data been produced by Amber Valley Council or in the Town Council about the fact that the business concept as proposed and accepted by government wasn't viable, and that the only viability project was the leasing to Derbyshire County Council? Did they produce any data, research data about the building?
We haven't seen anything. I believe there are a number of Freedom of Information Act requests that have gone in from various individuals in the community asking for this information. And we've obviously got borough councillors challenging the current position of the council. So the decision was made by the leader of Amber Valley Borough Council. It was then called into the Scrutiny Committee. Did everybody hear about the Scrutiny Committee? And the Scrutiny Committee, Trevor, correct me if I'm wrong, had powers to...
I sit on the Scrutiny Committee and it was me that called it in.
Right. Could you tell us a bit about the Scrutiny Committee, Trevor?
Ben Bellamy, by the way. It was me.
Oh, okay. Right, well...
Ben put his application in after I'd put mine.
Right. Do you want the mic?
No, I'm not ready for it.
Oh, okay.
Without the mic.
No, it's all right. Just so you can be... Can everybody hear, Trevor?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right, what would you like to know about the Scrutiny Committee?
Well,
About 9 of us sit on it.
Okay, well, why don't you tell us, Trevor, why you called it to scrutiny, and what the role of Scrutiny Committee is and what they can do?
Very little, to be honest with you, the Scrutiny Committee. It's made up of about the 3 political parties, but Labour keeps control of it. I think we've got about 6 Labour MPs that sit on it, and then the others are from Greens and that sort of thing. Anybody that's got a complaint in the borough can come to its borough councillor and ask for a problem to be called in. Now then, Marie and Alan I forget, I can never say Alan's last name, Abernathy, and a couple of others came to me that they weren't happy with it. And I listened to them and I agreed, not happy. So I called it in. And I've had a raft of problems from my own group because I've gone, as they said, traitor. Because I'm not withdrawn it. And I think that's when Ben put it in. And Ben's asked me to step over onto their side of the council, but I would do. I'm a Labour council up to now. If they don't want me, they'll shut me out. I'll not resign. Now then, the Scrutiny Committee will look at anything. But at the end of the day, the chairman, you know this as well as I do, being on either town council when we were together, Paul Jones had the power that he wanted. All the chairmen always have the power. And they can say who can speak, who can't speak, what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. And when you get to borough council level, you get whipped. You don't get whipped at town council level, but you get whipped at borough council level and above. And on that basis, you expect it to toe the party line. And if you don't, you suspend you. Easy as that. Now, once you've got to call in, you put your case in, which we did on the 12th. It was not very well put forward. When I tried to put my hand up, the chair just ignored me. I was given the chance just to say why I called it in, which I did, and it was on the video. I did the same as you, I quoted from the letter I put in. And that's where we stand today. I've put in a couple of requests for freedom of information, because when I was asking for it on my own, trying to find it, it was not available. And it still is not available. But they have 20 days in which to answer me. And I think I've got about 10 more to go.
When's that 20 measured, counted?
20 working days.
From when?
From when you put your letter in.
Right, okay.
And that's where we are. What the ones that I wanted to know was how much rent, for starters, is Derbyshire County Council paying to Amber Valley. That's one of them. Then there's a couple of others, like you've just been saying, when did things were put in for talking about when they did desk, what do you call it, the desk survey. The desktop survey. In other words, they just sat there, somebody did on the phone and rang round. And that was the survey that they did. But that's how it is. That's the rules that we play by. Not saying they're right, not by any stretch.
Has anybody contacted the people who donated the money to tell them what they can do?
Yeah, I have. I've sent an email but had no response.
You've had no response?
Yeah. To the Future High Street Fund, I've sent an email to them and no response.
Because at the end of the day, I think that even if they did take it over, they need to put £8.6 million into healing.
Where do you think that's going to come from? Like, will it come from the ratepayer?
Yeah.
You have to put it back.
Well, yeah.
It's going to come out of your rate.
But
No, do worry about it.
The taxpayer
we'll pay it, yeah.
pay
All
the
right.
money
So
for
we
that
need to
So the
see.
taxpayer.
You don't want to be paying money, right? You
No,
want,
no,
you
no.
want you want what you've been
No, I
paid
know, but
for.
that 8.6 million, the people who donated that need to know and respond, don't they? How many times have you contacted?
I sent one email about a fortnight ago.
Right.
I'll chase them up, but there's been no response so far.
Would you be willing to share that email with us?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I'll give you an email at the end.
I'll send it on to yourself.
There's a couple of hands that have gone up. The gentleman at the back went up first.
I am Jeff Thompson, resident of Hino, God knows how many years, blah, 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 blah. Surely one of the core things behind this is the original application from Amber Valley to central government to award the grant in the first
Sorry,
place.
I'm struggling to. Can anybody? Do you want to come up and use the mic?
I prefer not to.
Or could you maybe stand up and try to speak a bit louder?
Originally, Amber Valley will have put in an application for the funding, correct?
That was done under the Conservative, yes.
Yeah, to central, that will have gone to central government, correct?
Yeah. Well, yes. So the Future High Streets Fund was run by a government department. So government's got various departments.
Yeah,
It keeps changing its name.
Yeah,
So it's the Ministry of Housing Local Government. So MHCLG.
Now that application form, correct me if I'm wrong, has got to be a legal record somewhere because there's been funds awarded because of it, correct? Yeah.
Well, this is one thing we're looking at. So we haven't actually. I haven't seen the actual grant application. Has anybody in this room seen the actual grant application? We can only see what Amber Valley have posted on their web.
So you've seen it, sir?
Yeah, weirdly enough, I went into the library when all the consultation was taking place
Right.
at St. Lawrence's Church. So I went into the inner library and looked at all the documentation.
So,
now, don't ask me to quote it, because it
So,
was several years ago,
so-
and it was a few hundred pages long.
My leading question is, in central government, that form should be by public right available to view, full stop. You with me? Because it's been allocation of funds. In the same way that someone's applied for a COVID loan and central government said, you've abused it, we want to pay it back now, etc. And my guess is, regardless of the fact that she's ignored emails, one of the challenge to that is Lindsay Farnworth. And if she doesn't respond to a request, there is nothing stopping someone writing to number 10 directly in the right manner.
Okay, I don't disagree. So this is a community campaign, and we're looking for volunteers. So I think that's a really good suggestion. The thing we can use is the Freedom of Information Act. So you're familiar with FOI requests? Is anybody in this room willing to write to MHCLG? We can provide you with the address and request that information under the FOI. Because Melissa can't do everything, I can't do everything. We've got lots of people already volunteering. But if somebody's good at writing letters, is there anybody here that might be interested in doing that?
I'll think about it.
You'll think, sorry, what's your name?
Jeff Thompson.
Jeff. Right, so Jeff,
The point is,
TBC.
very briefly, Lindsay Farnworth was the first route because she's a member of Parliament.
Yeah.
But if she refuses it, which is entirely her prerogative, well, you haven't replied, so go in directly.
Oh,
John.
No, it's not a volunteer. What I would like to ask this chap with the beard who's seen it, what did he say?
Oh, it was a massive pack, wasn't it? It'll be like that. wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was hundreds and hundreds of pages long.
Did you get the gist of it then?
Just basically setting out what it was for, so then what's doing instead. Community use.
Exactly what he
It
is.
would
Exactly what
have
it said.
been the same thing over and over again.
Steph,
Yeah.
that's discoverable from as a freedom of information request from Amber Valley. They must.
Well, yeah, so it can go to anywhere, but we just need somebody to do it.
Well, I'll do it.
So, all right, okay. Well,
Hold on, Barry, thank you.
Barry, Jeff, you can have a chat at the end. And, are you happy for Barry to do it?
Yeah, I've got enough on it. It's just-
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Nevertheless, thank you,
One
Barry.
of the points, Steph, that we need to be clear about is that the council and so there's tiers of council: Derbyshire County Council, Borough Council, Town Council. Come the whatever it's going to be called, the unitary councils. Amber Valley is most likely going to be part of Derbyshire County Council or whatever it is, amalgamated.
I think Derby South is what.
So in other words, Amber Valley, if they get their way and lease it to Derbyshire County Council, will be getting paid by Derbyshire County Council, but ultimately those two bodies will become one. And therefore, all the money that was given to the Amber Valley Borough Council will be given to Derbyshire County Council because they're one body. So they'll have stolen the money, effectively. That's not what the government gave us the money for.
They'll not have stolen just the money, they'll have stolen the building as well.
Yeah,
because they
exactly.
of it.
Exactly.
Okay. Hand at the back.
Just a quick stuff. Lindsay's actually been in Hena today. You know, anybody's out Facebook profile.
Doing what?
Never told the cat, not be any road.
All right. Okay. What's she? Do you know?
She was at the skate park.
Oh, she was opening the skate park.
There was an event there.
Oh, an event.
Well, after the last meeting, I messaged her, I wrote an email, and I got a reply within a few hours, because it was like a cut and paste
Yes.
about what's gone off. So she replied to me. I messaged her tonight about the meeting. We'd like her to be here, but I don't think she'll turn up on her own that very long.
Well,
She's in Longyville on Sunday.
okay. Well.
What I'm saying to you, you know, if anybody's got time, I mean, I'm in Spain most of the times. I can't give you. I'll help as much as I can.
Yeah.
But somebody goes down to London, you can green card her when they get back after the break, and she has to come down and see me. I've done it with a few MPs before.
Okay.
So that is another thing we can use. And you
Okay.
can also
Green card. Green card.
Well, what it is, you go to the centre of the lobby, and that's it's like a green card, and they have to go and fetch you. She's in the office. So that's something else you can put down to get things moving.
Perfect. I mean, we're most probably going to get lots of people watching this meeting when it's posted, and I think to be fair to our MP, we didn't invite the MP to this meeting because we wanted to talk as a community. Now, I was going to mention it at the end. The intention is we will have a third meeting, an update meeting, on Wednesday the 1st of October here at 7 o'clock, because the team here have said we can have this room again for free. So, should we invite our MP to that meeting?
I thought we'd already invited her. And whatnot.
John, up until last night, I wasn't even running this
I
meeting,
think,
so...
I think she was invited to the first one.
Yeah, she's been invited.
Okay, well, okay, so she didn't come to that one, she's not been invited to this one, so can I have a show of hands, because we want this to be, if you think we should invite Lindsay to the 1st of October meeting, would you please raise your hands? So I'm looking round, unanimous, so thank you. So we will formally write to Lindsay and invite her to this meeting, and hopefully you can come. Have you got another question?
Just one comment. Then
Yes, yeah, that's fine.
I've noticed that God knows how many Facebook groups, and I think even far too many, and it's totally confusing. Something I think should be done about that. There's information all over the place and it's not focused enough. But the other more important point was, there's a lot of people slanging off local councillors, etc. In my opinion, that's going to do no good whatsoever. You want them on your side, not slagging them off. And however personally your opinion is, slagging them off, saying they didn't attend, that's going to do no good at all. You want them working for us. You don't want to say they're not doing this, slagging them off is going to do no good at all.
Would it be worth, sorry, before you go on to that, inviting all the councillors before the MP? Because we understand that the HENA councillors have been invited to all the councillors, haven't they?
Look,
Not all of them.
All the ones that cover Reno.
Okay,
Amber Valley, it's Amber Valley.
so there's a few points that have been raised. So if I come back to Jeff's point, I really am not a fan of social media. It's information overload. There's real facts out there. There are fake facts out there. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of interest. There's a lot of posts going on. I can't speak on behalf of people who have made comments or posts. But my view is we need to leave politics out of the door. We've got a community of 17,000 people, and we need to work together to get the best out of this grant that we can. That's my view. We've all got to pull together. So at the next meeting, if you're all in agreement, I think we extend the invitation not only to our MP, but we invite all our 21 town councillors. We invite our borough councillors, because we've got more than one borough councillor covering what do you call it, the Greater HENA area. I don't even know, I get confused.
Well, it's all of us, isn't it? It's just the wards that we cover.
Yeah, so
I think it's about 8 in total.
So potentially we've got eight borough councillors covering this
Some of
patch.
them don't even live in our area.
Yeah. So we'll invite them, and we'll also invite our county councillor. So we'll do that, and we'll offer them. Is that a good idea?
What about the borough councillors from where these businesses are going to be coming, these services, should I say, Alfred and Ilkeston? Surely they've got an opinion.
I think that's the Ilkeston one. I mean, obviously, Alfredton is Amber Valley in any case.
But surely they're not going to be happy about their services leaving their towns.
Well, one thing we don't know is we know that 151 businesses expressed interest, but because of data protection, they can't say where these businesses were from. I can tell you that I was one, so we know one of the 151. With Dawn, we know 2 of the 151. You were 3. So there's loads of other.
Who was a disabled lady in the last meeting? Oh, was that? Sorry, I didn't recognise.
I abandoned my chair over there.
Sorry, darling.
I've left it for Darby telling her.
None of them got a reply.
Yeah. So
None of them got a reply.
okay, so we'll extend the invitation. The only thing is, I think we've mostly got to remain focused on our 21 town councillors, our borough councillors, our MP. But what about, the leader of Amber Valley Borough Council is also on the town council, so we'll invite the leader who's also a town councillor. I think if we open it broader, we'll be looking at about a 4-hour meeting, listening to various, but it's up to you. I mean, hand it back.
What about Inner Antiques place as well? Obviously, you can't be nowhere near that with all them electric charges in the way.
Yeah.
Don't we have any papers?
No, they'll be feeling this because each member can park and come and see them.
Right. I'm just conscious of time. I mean, we started 10 minutes late. Is everybody happy to stay till 8:10?
Yeah.
Yeah? Happy? All right. Okay, so I'll carry on. If you want to say anything, pop up your hand and I'll come to you. So, what do we want? So, just moving on to, if you've got your agendas in front of you, we're on the third bit, which is what do we want to achieve and by when. So, I'm going to propose to you what this sort of community movement is. So, all this has come out from lots of individual discussions that Melissa's had with people, I've had with people, John's had with people, Dawn's had with people. I've sort of brought it all together to say, right, is this how we should go forward? Because one of the options we've got is we just pack up and go home and forget the whole thing. So, but we'll come to that at the end. So what do we want to achieve and by when? So, we need to focus on the hard facts, not rumour or speculation. You can tell this is starting to get quite politically sensitive because I'm reading a script, so I make sure I stick to facts, not social media chatter. So the facts as we see them and we understand them are this. The government grant was awarded for one thing. So that was that shared space concept. Amber Valley Borough Council has, in our view, used it for something else. So we think that's a fact. We think that is inconsistent with the grant application. We believe that's a fact. We are of the view that there might be potential breaches of legislation that binds local authorities to certain practices and procedures. But we are not legal experts. I don't think, is anybody here a barrister, a KC, a solicitor? No? No. No, I failed my law module at uni, so I'm definitely not one. We are proposing that we crowdfund. So, just before I go on to crowdfunding, did everybody watch that Royal Mail thing on ITV? The story of that. Now, I don't want to compare our experience to the terrible stories we've heard on the back of that. But if you go back and watch that, they started with crowdfunding. And it started almost in a similar room to this, with a similar number of people. And look where it ended up. But we've got a choice. So, we're not legal experts, so we're proposing that as a community, we crowdfund to enlist the professional support of a barrister to look into whether there is a legal case to be answered. Because we've got to move away from this. He said, she said, I said, you said. That's a fake AI report. No, it's real. We've got to draw a line and say, what are the facts? Pass it to a barrister and say, can you advise us? Now, unfortunately, barristers cost a lot of money. So, to do this, we've calculated, you might need to open the bar at this point. People might need something to soften the blow. To do this, we've calculated we need to initially raise £6,000. So at the end of the meeting, we're going to give you a link to a website where we put all this information online. I was up till 4 o'clock this morning when I found out I was doing this meeting at the last minute. I was up till 4 o'clock this morning trying to put all the facts together and do all the sums. So on there, you can look at the sums I've done for why I think we need £6,000. So basically, I've looked at what the cost of a barrister is per hour. Now let's just say they get paid a lot more than somebody does at Tesco per hour. Awful lot more. So £6,000 would buy us effectively 5 days worth of a barrister's time. Well, it did. Well, some are expensive. So basically, I went onto the internet and said, what is the hourly rate of a barrister? And it said minimum, maximum. So I thought, right, well, I'll start with the minimum then. So I did minimum and thought, if we're going to appoint a barrister, they most probably need 5 days to get their heads round all this and then advise us. And the 5 days say, you haven't got a cat's chance, or actually, we think there's something here. We then decide where we're going to go from there. Sorry, there's a hand up. Whose hand? Oh, yeah.
Before we go there, crowdfunding, we all know it was wrong. We don't need, we tattle all the councillors and the Amber Valley Borough Council one more time so they can explain themselves and tell us why it was such a good idea to have this community hub as the county council officers. Before we have to get crowdfunding, everyone in here knows it's wrong, that's why we're here.
Problem is, John, we've already been to the last meeting.
Well, they're on about having another meeting and getting them here.
Yes, but we lost that vote there, and the bloke who's entirely responsible for this, who took this decision unilaterally, without full council behind him, he'd have the right to do that, admittedly. But all he could do during that meeting was say absolutely nothing until right at the end, when he put his hand up and said, bye.
But all he said was, I've done nothing wrong. He said 3 things that I've done, abided by, did nothing wrong there,
He
nothing
hasn't
wrong,
done
nothing
anything
wrong there.
wrong legally, but morally he has.
Yeah. Stefan, we're going round in circles because we're all here because we know we've been turned over and sold down the river.
Yes.
Why are we going to exacerbate it and lengthen it out? We all know we've been turned over.
Yeah, but
Crowdfunding is not going to cost us anything, is it?
Sorry?
Unless we want
Yes, yes. I don't see why we should go to crowdfunding, no matter how much it costs or whatever. We're all prepared to chuck a bit in or whatever, but we know it's wrong.
Well, if there is a good legal argument that can be put in front of a government committee, for instance, you need someone with legal attributes to be able to do it.
I can't see bringing the Amber Valley Borough Council here. They will not budge, and it'll be a total waste of time.
So then don't we need to get barristers?
We've passed that by.
Can we just...
Who's agreed with that?
What the outcome would be. Let's say that it was incorrect. Again, morally, that people have their own opinions, legally.
Well, we're all here because we think it was morally incorrect.
But let's say it was legally incorrect. The only outcome would be the clawing back of the funding that was given. In which case, Amber Valley still retain that building.
Not necessarily. I don't think
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's...
They could be made to spend money that they received on regenerating Hina, which is what they were given the money for.
Yeah, but the Department for Levelling Up doesn't have the authority to force them to spend it how others see fit.
Okay, well, give the money back and give it back to us.
Well, that, again, it wouldn't come to the local people. It would go back to the department and they would disseminate it as they see fit in other areas.
Well, rather that than just have Derbyshire County Council have a brand new office.
Careers of the people that have made the decision that they've made.
Well, now you're talking political. So that's, as my father keeps saying, that's going in the ballot box. It's not going to get...
So they wouldn't be held accountable by their own voters then?
Well, no, because that's already took place, hasn't it? That's gone through that scrutiny committee.
But
and they found that there was no wrongdoing.
It's 6 months before we can even address it again at county level.
We have Ben Bellamy.
Okay, I'll come to you in a
We
second.
have Ben Bellamy that's put one in and said that they were advised wrong at the scrutiny meeting. So therefore, the solicitor and the CEO were advising wrong, and we're waiting for the outcome of that. And he has put a statement out today that says, on 20 days, he'll go to the others, which I think is needed to be done.
I think I agree with the gentleman over there, though, is what I'm trying to say, is that don't throw good money after bad, essentially, is what I'm saying. If you're going to try and crowdfund to get an answer, go through the free channels first, which is Amber Valley.
We all know we've
Department
been
of
turned
Levelling
over.
Up,
We don't
find out
need.
if there's
We
redress.
know what the answer is. Chris Emma Williams has made his decision. So unless we're going to challenge it legally, we're not going to get anywhere going.
Well, that's when you go to the Future High Street Fund
It'll
and
be
the
too
Department
late.
of Levelling Up.
I don't know what the answer is going to be.
Can I ask Steph,
Marie, Trevor, I'll come to Marie. Did you have anything else to say, or are you just stretching the days?
I'm stretching my legs.
Oh, right, okay. Trevor.
we all know that Chris Emma Williams did do nothing wrong with what he did. Morally wrong, totally wrong. But legally, he's not done a thing wrong.
You don't know that, Trevor.
He's not done a...
Trevor, you don't know that. I'm sorry.
Barry...
I don't agree with you.
Barry, you put a letter in to Lee Gardner and he's addressed you a letter and sent it back, didn't he? Put it in the picture.
I'm not a solicitor, but I've worked in construction law for 32 years.
Yeah.
I am legally qualified, right? So I know a little bit about the law, but I don't know any law regarding this matter.
No, I don't know any of
But I
it here.
do know about the law. I know, let's say I know more than most people in this room, right?
What do you plan to do then, Barry? Let's look from your standpoint, Barry. What is your
We'll get
suggestion?
initial advice from a barrister. I've instructed barristers, Trevor, over the
Well, I'm not saying that one, Barry. Carry on.
Alright, we'll instruct the barrister, we'll get an initial opinion of what he or she says, right? And we will then move forward from there. And what my point of view, Trevor, is, as far as I can see, the council have acted what's called ultra vires, beyond their powers, right, for various reasons. They have not acted in accordance with their own procedures or in accordance with their original being. Now, there is every opportunity there to put that before them and to see what the outcome is. And as regards them giving the money back, well, it's open for negotiation, surely, not with the department, but with us, the people of Ena, who were supposed to benefit from the £8.5 million that was given to Amber Valley to spend on the regeneration of Ena.
Can I just suggest though, you jump in a little bit too quickly. I don't object to a Barry to it going to a solicitor. But we don't know then what the solicitor is going to say, or the barrister. Wait until you've got an answer. If you can crowdfund, you can afford it, get that information.
Right, thank you. John, can I come back to you in a minute?
Yeah.
So I'll come... I'm writing down John, don't worry.
There's the lady over here as well.
Sorry, who had the hand up?
Have we got a time limit?
Well, so right.
Before the organisation, so you've got 2 years. 2027.
Well, okay. So I mean, I've been listening to everything that's been said here. So what I think we've really got to focus on is, so there was a comment made about about the risk of clawback. I think what we're saying is, so I acknowledged in the meeting that leader of the town council, leader of Amber Valley Borough Council has, in the view of Amber Valley Borough Council, followed procedures. So, and there's different views around the room. So that's being explored by Councillor Bellamy's thing. So we just have to see the outcome of that. So our objective, I think, is to get the Hena Grammar project. So that's what the money was awarded for, reinstated. Simple as that. I.e., cancel that lease agreement with Derbyshire County Council. No, Trevor, let me, because when you shake your head, you distract me. And I'll come.
Paul Jones used to do it, didn't you?
Huh?
Do you remember when Paul Jones used to do it, do you?
I know, it's distracting. So, Trevor, I'll come back to you, but I'm just going to put forward a proposition because I'm conscious I've said 8:10, and I know we've got people wanting to speak. Our objective is to get the Hena Grammar project reinstated, i.e. cancel the lease. You then market test the shared space concept. You go out to the market, you invite those 151 businesses, some might be there, some might have found other space. I'm still interested in the space, Dawn's still interested, but we can't afford to rent the whole building. I don't need the whole building, I only need a little space. Now, you market test it, and Derbyshire County Council should be allowed to submit an application as well. And all those applications are assessed against the shared space concept. Simple as that. And you assess the bids. Simple as that. Now, if at the end of that process, the only viable option is that it becomes Derbyshire County Council offices, then maybe we have to accept that. But Barry posted a video, where were you, Barry, where you showed...
It was up in the Lake District.
Up in the Lake District, a shared space concept there that was vibrant, buzzing, supporting jobs, creating jobs. This fund was all about creating footfall to the town centre, creating jobs, all these sorts of things. So that would be my proposition, but what do people think? John?
Can I just ask Trevor, right, who's saying Emma's Williams has done nothing wrong. The money was for a community hub. He's given it, wait Trevor, he's given it to Derbyshire County Council. I'm telling you, he's done wrong. The money was for a community hub. He's given it, he's leased it to Derbyshire County Council. He's done wrong.
Within his rights to do that.
No, it is not. That's why we're all here. It is not.
I'm chair of this meeting. Trevor, you know how it works. I'm chair of the meeting. Please stop talking or I'll ask you to leave. And I don't want you to leave. Okay? So we need to keep this to order because I'm not having dinner yet and I don't want to be here until 10 o'clock at night. So there's obviously very passionate views. Maria, I will come back to you. So it's our view, and we're going to put it to the vote, that we crowdfund. Now, it's then up to people whether they contribute or not. Now, £6,000, you might think, well, how on earth are we going to raise £6,000? So I did the sums flipping 3 o'clock this morning. So, we've got a population of over 22,000 people in the town. Now, granted, that's of all ages. But we've also got former pupils and staff of the grammar across the UK and overseas that have been in contact with us. Securing, we've done some sums on 1,300 people. So I'll just read this out, but you can read it on the website. There's been a suggestion that we have badge sales. Now, I'll come back to that in a bit, but on the crowdfunding page, if 500 people gave £5, that would generate £2,500. If 250 people put in a tenner, that's another £2,500. If 50 people put in 15 quid, that's £750, which takes me to the smallest and cheapest item. So, I can't take credit for this. Somebody had a really good idea. But do you remember the prefects badges that you used to go to school? Do you remember these are the grammar school colours? And yeah, the badge won't be that big. It will be prefect size, so to be that thing you got if you were really well behaved at school. And it says on it, save Hena Grammar. So, we're launching those today, and we're launching them online tomorrow with a postage and packing option because we've got somebody interested in Australia. So this potentially could be quite big. Now you might think, hang on, £3.50, where's that going to take us? That's a minimum donation for a badge. Now going back to the sums, right, I've done this. So the badge sales, basically the badges, if we order 250, they cost us £1, it's £1.50 to produce. So if we sell them for £3.50 minimum donation, we're making £2 for the pot on every badge sale.
Like the t-shirts.
Like the t-shirts. So John's wearing a lovely t-shirt. John, do you want to spin round and show everybody your lovely t-shirt?
You've all seen it before, I think.
You've seen it? Yeah. So there are various ways we can crowdfund, and I'll put t-shirts and money goes into the crowdfunding pot. If at the end of this meeting you're not dashing and you want to pre-order your badge, you can pre-order it with me. I'll take your name, you give me your minimum donation of £3.50, and on the 1st of October meeting you will be the proud owner of the first badges. That's up to you. So all the sums are online. So it all boils down to this, and then I'm going to hand over to the other people who want to speak. We either take the legal route and see if there's a legal case to answer. I think if we don't start this, time will tick on and things will become more entrenched. County Council will move in. We've got to act quickly, I think. Now, maybe this crowdfunding campaign will bring people together and result in what the House of Lords say should happen, is businesses, residents and councils working together in the best interest of their community. So if we can avoid going down this legal route, brilliant. Would everybody agree? But I think we've got to start, you tell me. I mean, I'm putting forward a proposition based upon the conversations Melissa's had with the community, all the chatter on Facebook, the individual conversations that have taken place. So I think it's a choice point. We either draw a line under this campaign tonight and say, fine, we're done, or we say, we're going to double the amount of people in this meeting on the 1st of October and double again and double again and double again. If you look at the traffic Melissa's generated on Team Keen and Osco, she posted a graph, I don't know if anybody saw it. This has started to snowball. Now, a chap at the, Jeff was saying, so much information out there and all this sort of stuff. Melissa has done an absolutely brilliant job. She's been incredibly passionate. There's a tour of rooms. I've never actually been in the building.
It's not as big as you think it is.
No.
So, just to get kind of keep it up to
Definitely.
let's say, for example, there was meant to be 150 units in there.
No, there'll never be 150 units. So 151 people came forward to express interest in the limited space that was available as this gentleman
Let's
says.
go more 50 units then. Let's say there's
Don't forget there's the baby grammar.
Well, there's a baby grammar as well.
So
And the
let's
basement.
just say there was 50 units meant to be built. And now it's just office space. Where's the money going to come from to put it back to where it was meant to be?
Well, it's not a matter of putting it back, it's a matter of dividing up the space. If you've got a big classroom.
But the money's been spent, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, do we know that? We don't know how much.
Right, so to answer your question, and I think we should move on. So the layout, because it's a listed building, it's got listed building consent. So you can't just get listed building consent and then go, oh, hang on, we're going to rent it to Derbyshire County and they want that wall out and things like that. There are certain, so you can make changes, but it's protected by an additional layer of effectively planning regulations.
No, I'm completely in favour of that.
All right, okay.
What I'm saying was, if in the original plan there was to be 50 units which would have been rented out, and again I'm working with made up figures.
Room dividers, dear. Room dividers. Like they're having one of the rooms.
Still, they're not free, so where's the money going to come from to now make that into those 50 units?
I think that possibly Chris Emma Williamson should probably.
Well,
and then
I think that's a fair question.
You were talking about figures.
But you don't know how much of the money that they have they've spent. Do you know?
It's my understanding that they've used other monies.
Okay, no, right, sorry, I'm conscious of time, so I'm going to just draw a line. John, is it really important?
All I can say is, they're saying it's 100,000 a year running costs. That's 2,000 a week.
Yeah.
You've not got many businesses. If you had 10 businesses at £200 rent, there's your 2,000. It would be viable. Yes?
So £100,000 to run
2,000 a week. They're saying 100,000.
Okay, sorry, we can't get into this level of detail. We're going to have to most probably pick up on this at the next meeting. 1st of October will be the next meeting in here. But I'm going to sum up. Marie, do you really need to say this? Right.
Going back to what Trevor said about what is deemed legal, I've no doubt that Amber Valley have gone through their legal process with their legal advisor.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean another legal advisor would come to the same conclusion. That's all I'd like to say.
Well, that's law, isn't it? I mean, that's why we all work.
I'm not saying no objection to going to law, but you're on about getting it stopped now. You ain't going to get it stopped.
Trevor, have I said I'm about getting it stopped. Have I said about getting it stopped? I'm not, no. Trevor, watch the video and you'll see what I said. I'm conscious, no, Trevor, right, so I'm conscious of time and I need to draw this to a close. So I'm here as a volunteer, as a resident. I'm no longer I've not been a town councillor for quite a few years. I should not be here on this stage. This is Melissa's position. I'm doing this because Melissa can't be here tonight. So this is a position, we've had a vote on the meeting. So we all want the meeting on the 1st of October, and our friends here at the club have kindly agreed to host that for free. So brilliant. Hopefully we'll get more people for you. We've voted on who we want at that meeting. So next, and I'm going to then conclude this meeting, but then I'm going to hand over to there were 2 people who want to speak. I think it's only you. Does anybody else want to speak other than Dawn? Okay, so it's just going to be Dawn at the end. Right, so I'm going to ask for a vote. Those in favour of giving up, and we don't meet again, and we just accept where the project is going at the moment, which is the grammar has been saved, but we're not getting the project. Barry, are you voting for that or you got a question?
There's 17,000 people in here. They're not all here. Right? There's 17,000 people. We don't know what they want, right? Because they're not all here. Bank holiday week. We don't know how much publicity's gone out about this meeting, right? We don't need to vote on it, Steph, I don't think, because crowdfunding, let's just, if people aren't interested in the campaign, see you later, off you go.
Okay.
Whether people want to crowdfund or not, the whole basis of that is you can do it anonymously. You can do it or not do it. And I'll give you a little different calculation, right?
Yeah.
60 people give 100 quid, you've got your 6,000 quid.
Yeah.
And I will tell you now, you've got my 100 quid.
And you got my 100 quid.
So that's 2 of us with 100 quid.
200 quid.
£100.
Well, you've done 100 there.
60 people at 100 quid.
But
200,
people can
right.
afford a fiver, a tenner, 20 quid, whatever
Right.
they've got.
Okay.
Put tabs out for loose change.
Okay, right.
To outdo Barry, I'll give 110. How's that?
Brilliant. So, a show of hands. So we've heard different views. Who thinks, so the web page is ready to go. Dawn has got QR codes. Marie has got QR codes. We literally decide, and I can do it on my phone, do we press the button to go on that crowdfunding now?
Yes.
Who's in favour, please raise your hands.
Everybody.
Everybody. Dawn? Crowdfunding? I know, good. I just want to make sure it's democratic and transparent. So, before I conclude and hand over to Dawn, Marie, will you just do a head count?
I've done it 40.
What?
Head count, there's 40 of us.
Yeah, so we've got 40 people here. Thank you, John. So we've got 40. I'm going to be hanging around at the end. If you do want to pre-book your badge, a minimum donation, £3.50. These might be worth a fortune in the future because we're doing 250. So you don't know what they might be worth in the future. Stuff sells for weird prices on eBay these days, doesn't it? So maybe this will become something. Yes? Well, it's adjusted it automatic. Right, thank you. 6. Right, all my actions are on my hand. I want to thank you all for coming. I'm going to hand over to Dawn, who wanted to speak on the microphone, but I really want to thank our friends here at the club for opening up for us, giving us the room, and hopefully we've got a home for this community campaign. So, thank you.
I didn't say I wanted to talk. I was nagged last night at silly o'clock. Right, now Stefan's proposed to all of us multiple times. Okay, so I mean I don't know how many he's marrying, but Stefan and myself haven't always seen eye to eye. Right, this campaign Today, we met in Hena to fetch the petitions. Okay? Not always seen eye to eye. Stefan. Right?
We did first meet at karate class though.
Be quiet. Do you remember David?
Yes.
Right. I was asked to kind of do this, but I'd already said I'd do it anyway. Inclusion. My chair's down there, there's steps to get up here. Okay? I am disabled, I have multiple disabilities, and I can't say more because I can't spell them either. Okay? I am now a single mum, however, my ex-husband lives around the corner. The venues we've got, I've never been here, and obviously I can't get my wheelchair up here, but that's not a problem. I was offered a chair, thank you very much. Now, the grammar school, it's an old building, it's now got a lift in it. Okay? It's not just wheelchair users that need that lift. Elderly people, children with autism that can't do the steps because the light reflects on them funny, people with balance issues, they all need it, okay? Inclusion, how many youth club brownies, guides, bands, my son's 17, he needs room to practice, he needs room to perform. We'll also use this space as well. Now I know it's here, we'll use this, okay? So my ex-husband is a musician, okay? Ex-husband, however, he can use it to make money to pay my child maintenance. See what I'm thinking? Right? Inclusion, okay? I'm not talking about just me. Yes, I could use a space to run my teddy bear hospital. So I've run today from the Liz's bookshop in the middle of town. Okay? I repair and restore bears. It'd be great to have that mess out of my house. Okay? I don't think all my craft stuff will actually fit in the grammar. I think I've still got too much. But inclusion isn't about a wheelchair. It's not about a blind person, it's about people of every age. Okay, so if we can go in there and we can take the youth club in and they can do their gymnastics on the stage and have room to actually put on a performance. We get children from Blend to walk across the road, they can go and paint, they can do a project in there. Okay? We can even have AA, we can have everything in there. Instead of them having to go into the centre of Derby, we want it in Hena. It's not about disabilities, it's not about age, it's about money, okay? To get to the things that these people want to go to, they've got to pay £3 to get into Derby, they've got to pay £3 to get back, plus they've got food and drink and everything else. How many families in Hena have got the £6 just to go and fetch something from Derby or go and see someone? They've not got it, okay? But then, the thing that Children in Need and all these other charities say, the people, and it was on sports soccer aid, it's not the people with the money in the back pockets that give the most. The people that give the most are the people that have got the least. Now in Hena, no one's rich. Well, if you are, then can you share it a bit more, please? But we need to think about the people we've got in Hena. We want to start businesses to better ourselves, to get our house, to go from a council house to having a mortgage, okay? I have a PA because of my disabilities and everything else. I don't mind sharing that. I've got PTSD, I've obviously got mobility issues, I've got lots going on. Okay, I've got a PA. She currently lives in a council house. She's going to kill me for saying this, but no mind. Yeah, it won't take much to kill me anyway. But she's now looking at getting a mortgage in a year. Paid off debts. She wants to get a mortgage. She wants a house for her and the children. Having somewhere to work locally means she's not having to pay that bus fare. Okay? Having the grammar for local businesses who want to start up is going to make Hena grow. I can't go into a community shop at the moment and open that shop and turn it into a business, because most of the shops in Hena are on a hill and you've got a wonky step and everything else, and then you get into the property, I haven't got the money to do it up. Okay? But having an office, having a space to work out of, so there's a teddy bear lady at Strelly Hall. Strelly Hall is almost the same as the grammar school, but they made it a community facility and people now go there to take the dogs to the cafe, to the teddy bear hospital and everything else. They had the opportunity that we've got that the council is trying to take away. So I will be buying a badge. I haven't got the £100 to give and I haven't got the £110 to match on. But that badge, I'll help them find a cheaper company as well. because I know they're being ripped off with that one. But yeah, we can put collection tubs out. I'm sure at a youth club we can have a collection tub on the table just for an extra 10p occasionally. It's not about £100. We need little bits of money, and we need to keep the grammar for us so that people in Hena can actually buy that house, go to work, be proud of it, and keep it ours. And inclusion isn't about the wheelchair, unlike what Derby Telegraph think. Right, so inclusion is about us coming here. We're all totally different. Some of you got £100 in your pocket, some of you got 2p. It doesn't matter. We're all in the room because we want to keep the grammar ours. And that's all inclusion is. And we've got the venue for free because they want to see Hena succeed. And yeah, inclusion is great fun. I'm now going to roll down these steps just like Willy Wonka and pick up the stick.
Okay, so thank you, Dawn. So I'm going to sum up. I'm sorry, what's your name?
John.
John. I want to thank John for taking the time to record this. So thank you, John, because I know there's lots of people that are watching this in Hena and around the world. So maybe that's the message. So who is watching this from the furthest away? There's a free pin badge for you. So if you're watching this in Sydney.
Only if they pay the postage.
Only if they pay the postage. Yeah. Right. So to sum up, the QR codes have gone round. So if you're not familiar with the QR code or something, have a chat to somebody at the end, and we'll help you with it. We've got some posters. So if you've got a place you might want to put a poster to encourage people to start contributing to the crowdfund, please take one. I haven't mentioned a petition. We've got over 2,000 names on the paper and online petitions. If you've not signed a petition yet, there's some petition sheets up here. If you want to get your badge, come and see me, but I'm going to see the bar first, so once I've gone to the bar. And I think, oh yes, finally, the crowdfunding, just had an update. We have £115 in there, so within the space, it was £115. And John, we've got witnesses, you've got 110. So with John's 110, 225.
325 with Barry.
Yeah, 225. So it started with 15 at the start of the meeting, because I put that in. So, just to give you a bit of inspiration, in the space of this meeting, that's a 1,400% increase. So it just shows you how much things can snowball.
That's in the space of the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. So get out there, tell people, thank you for coming, and see you 1st of October here. Thank you everybody.